Welcome back, everybody, to a new video. I got a little bit of energy going on, even though I should be in bedtime. I don't think I've made a video in a while. So how is everybody doing in this pandemic year? It really feels like the end sometimes. I guess I'll do a little recap video because for some reason I feel like making a YouTube video, but I don't know if I have editing software anymore. Alright, I'm gonna do a classic video. I'm gonna do a recap video of my year 2020. The current time is Alexa, what time is it?
It's 12:27 a.m.
12:27 a.m. It's a sign. 27 is one of my favorite numbers for some reason. 27 was, when I was a teenager, I decided that 27 was the ideal age. Like, when you turn 27, that's it. I don't want to age anymore. It's the perfect age because you're, like, far enough into your later 20s that you're not, like, still a dumb teen, but you're also not, like, yet in your 30s and 40s. So, like, 27 is the perfect age. And then it just so happened that my 27th year of life was when I was in England for a full year. And so I lucked out in my premonition that my 27th year of life truly was one of my greatest years of human existence. So I did my 15 months living in England. I got my Master's of Science in Ethnobotany, as some of you guys know. I wrote a honors earning a distinction awarded dissertation, pioneer of my field had never been done before, ethnobotany of druid gardens, modern druids in southeastern England. Not just southeast, all of southern England, because I don't think Warwickshire would be considered east. Cornwall's definitely not considered east. Cornwall's my favorite part in my favorite area of England. I went there, I believe, twice while I was living in England, and I would say if I could move anywhere right now, especially in like a non-pandemic universe, I would definitely like to live in Cornwall. So then December 2019, I graduated my master's degree in November of 2019, and then I couldn't find a job that would sponsor a visa, and I kind of ran out of ideas, and I tricked myself using the power of nostalgia to be like, I want to move back to America. And so I moved back to the United States in December of 2019, and I was like, I'm free. I literally have no ties, no obligations. This is the first time in my life ever that I'm not a student, because I went, all of elementary school, obviously, all of high school. Then I graduated high school in the, obviously, like, early summer of 2010. And then I started college in August of 2010. And a decade went by, and I was a university student for 10 years. I got 3 degrees. So this is my 2020, the big year, the first year that I was not a student. And the future was bright. I was like, I have no ties in Arizona. I have no ties to America. I can move fucking anywhere. I just gotta find a job, move anywhere. I've applied to like 20 different states in this country, like jobs. I've applied to like almost 300 jobs this year. Mostly in like copywriting and like park ranger service, obviously. Because I didn't choose the best degrees for a job. I have an associate's in anthropology, a bachelor's in cultural anthropology, and a master's of science in ethnobotany, which is a little kooky, especially because I'm much more heavily on the anthropology side of botany, or of ethnobotany, so I can't even do real botany jobs, because I'm not the best at actual plant biology. I am just really, really interested in the relationship between humans and plants, and the role that plants play in human culture and history. I'm going to change camera angles. Are you guys ready for this? This is going to be a real video. Anyway, so I've been applying for a lot of jobs this year. In January, I was like, I want to fucking die. I was like, that's it. My life's over. It really felt like even before the pandemic even existed yet. Um, it was this weird thing of like, oh my God, I'm fucking 28 years old, and this is my first time in my life that I don't have a university, so I have nothing left in life but to find a job, and I don't know what I want to do technically still. This one job I'm going to choose right now is what I'm going to be stuck in for the rest of my life. And I get like in a tunnel vision. Like in February, I became like a part-time after-school elementary science teacher. Like I taught like K to fifth grade science classes because I was like, yeah, the only real career I could see myself going into is teaching because I've been a fucking student for 10 years and I just like talking about shit. And so it's like I've always seen myself as being probably going to be able to become a teacher. And then I never wanted to teach kids, but I was like, that's the job I found. And then I realized real quick that I was right, that I don't want to teach kids at all. The youngest maybe is like high school. I could see myself being like a weird high school history teacher, but obviously I'd rather teach like college level, like anthropology 101. Then I started applying for a lot of copywriting jobs or just any writing job because I'm like, hey, I'm technically good at writing. I've written a paper or two in this last 10 years of especially being an anthropology major. I don't like this angle anymore. What? Oh, I'm already recording. Damn, look at that thumb. That's just paint though. So in January I was like, December and January, like other than like kind of wanting to die because I felt like I had no future left, and like this is straight up the end. Like I've done everything. There's still like that opportunity, that like feeling of like I can move to any state in the country. I can move to any country, like relatively theoretically, if as long as I get a job there. Because I don't really have anything tying me here other than my friends and family. But it's like I just lived in England for a year, and the internet exists, and I don't want to live in America, or at least I kind of want to get a change of scenery. Even though I love the desert and I love Arizona, but like, come on. For a while, I was really obsessed with moving to Wyoming because I was reading the book The Virginian, which is somewhere here down at my bookshelf. And I was like, I'm gonna move to Wyoming because it's the least populated state in the country. I don't want to see fucking anybody, and I'm gonna be a real cowboy and do some Park Service job. Obsessed with like Nova Scotia for a while, except like I almost barely survived the cold in England, so I don't know if I can like. And I lived in Kent. I didn't live in like real like northern England or anything. I lived in fucking the southeast corner, like the warmest part of England, and I was like, and so I'm pretty sure I don't know how I'd be able to handle like a real fucking cold place like Nova Scotia, but the aesthetic, keep growing out my beard, get a lighthouse, never see another human being again by my own will. The dream, we move out to like a rural place, like a much less populated place, and be like a very like small town news journalist. I would just want to write for like a local newspaper, then write my own shit on the side. But that's it. Except I went 10 years of studying anthropology instead of ever minoring in journalism like I said I would. So, oopsies. And then Woody died in January. I don't know if I've ever talked about that on YouTube yet, but Woody died in January. So that also, again, influenced, like, everything's ending. So it's like, fucking so many things hit in January of 2020. It's like new decade already, so there's kind of like a psyche thing about like, oh, it's a whole new era. And then, first time not being a student ever in my life. I'm getting a little closer to 30. In January I got diagnosed with osteoporosis because a long-term side effect of my immunosuppressants from having a heart transplant 28 years ago is my bones are not the strongest. So I have osteoporosis, but like just barely enough to like technically have osteoporosis, but it's not bad. And like other than now being open to having the ability to joke about it and also feeling sorry for myself, it's not that bad. Like I can say like sure, like I'm in like technically physical pain like almost all times of my life, but I'm so used to it and it's not that bad, and like I can still do stuff. Like my life is not that bad at all. Like I talk a lot about like, oh, I'm in this physical prison and my body has all these limitations, but at the same time it's like I'm doing so much and I've done so much, which I guess will be a theme as this recap gets a little further into the year when the pandemic happens. Pandemic happens in March. For the first couple months of this pandemic year, so like March, April, May, into June, I got really, really bad anxiety, like some of the worst anxiety I've had in a long time. Like where the physical symptoms, the physical manifestations of the anxiety started getting much worse. Most of the year I've spent thinking that I'm either dying or going to die, definitely going to die this year. And then kind of circling back to like being at peace with that. And then being like, well, wait, hold on. I'm at peace like philosophically with the idea of death, but if it's real, I actually don't want to die. Which is why it's so funny that like in January I was like, that's it. My life is over. I have no future. This fucking sucks. I have nothing left in life but to get a job and like be trapped in America. And then COVID happened, and I was like, hold on. I have so much to live for. I don't want to die. And then I got mostly better. I have not left the house that much. I go on drives a lot. I drive up to like northern Arizona and like go in the forest every now and then, or I go on drives to look at like nice neighborhoods because I like architecture and I like the way that some of these neighborhoods around Gilbert are designed. And then obviously October I would drive around for the Halloween decorations people have, and then now I've been driving around to see Christmas decorations, but mostly other than the people that I live with at my house, and I've also had like a change in who lives with me in this house this year. So other than those people, I don't really see much people in real life. But turns out, there's this thing called the internet, and I already love isolation. And a big theme of this year is me wishing that I was more alone. Like I wish I could have spent this pandemic in like true isolation. I wish I could have just moved somewhere, had like my own little space, and truly isolated from the world. Never saw another human other than the internet. That would be so nice. I feel genuinely bad for people this year who are not introverts because my life has like benefited in many ways from the pandemic because now I'm allowed to never leave the house and I only have to socialize on the internet. I do miss going out. I miss going in cafes, but I used to, in England, I used to go places alone. I like to go places alone and watch other people. So that's the only thing is I can't like go out and sit outside and watch people. Now I have to like be truly alone except for the people I have to live with. And they go out still sometimes, which has been part of why I keep thinking I'm going to die. And I'm much more at peace with it now. In the last month or two, I've been studying Stoicism, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. And that actually has helped a lot with my anxiety about death. Is I started the year thinking there was so much opportunity, ironically, and then I was like, I want to die. This is literally the end, and then the pandemic happened, so it really felt like the end. Like that's it. Like I basically died in 2019, and this year is like a ghost year. And half the time I still feel like I'm probably gonna die next year or this year, and that's okay because I've honestly done so much in the almost 3 decades that I've had. I'm happy about that. It's like I've been to 15 countries. I have 3 degrees. I've made like almost 3,000 YouTube videos, even though I shouldn't have made so many. I have like good friends and all that. So I was like, if I die, then fuck it, dude. That's fine. I think I'd still rather not die. There's still a lot I'd like to do. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little more optimistic now that the vaccine is out. I don't know if I can get the vaccine because I'm immunocompromised and I'm a transplant patient. So I have to rely on everyone else to get the vaccine, but I also live in a place like Arizona. So still plenty of time for me to get the virus and die. And even then, even with my heart transplant, I'm like a healthy 29-year-old. Relatively healthy. I mean, I'm mostly healthy. And I almost never get sick. And so, like, if I try to rationalize it, it's like, I'll probably survive the virus, but still feels like I'll probably die. I'm trying to focus more on the present moment. Like, a lot of this life has been like, am I dying, like, right now? Like, do I have the virus right now? Am I dying right now? No? Well, what am I gonna, let me go get some food. Let me go play a video game. Let me go watch a movie. I've watched so many movies this year. So many movies. I mean, in 2019, I went to like 90 movies in theaters, but now this year I got to see movies on the computer. I'm going to end this video with a tour of my room. Wow. A room update. Here is my shoe rack. Mostly for shoes I don't wear. I just got this shoe rack once and I don't like it, but it's there. This is a door. Here are my cactus posters. I love cactuses. Cacti, sorry. Here's Opuntia. As you can tell, I really like Opuntia. I almost did a dissertation on Opuntia before I chose my druid topic. Canberra, England, where I lived. One of the best cities in the world. Definitely one of the best cities I've ever lived in, and I missed it a lot. Here's my old license plate. Look it up. Don't, though. Druid book. The cards. I got really into candles this year. I've bought so many candles online. I'm always like restocking candles. I get so stressed about wasting candles. It's like I gotta be doing the exact right aesthetic. I gotta be making these candles worth it. I spent like $10 on that candle, and it's gonna go away in like however many hours. I gotta be making sure I'm like doing shit that's worth it. But now I have so many candles backed up because I keep buying them that now I can afford to kind of not worry that they're like burning away. And like going by some juniper on the desk that I collected in northern Arizona way back when. And now it's kind of relevant again for the solstice. Ground down. We got a lot of books here. All my druid books. A lot of this is books that I kept from research for my dissertation. Path of Druidry by Billington is probably one of the best ones if you really actually want to get into druidry. History of Kent, which is the county I lived in. Here's some other books. Then these are mostly books that I read this year. There's some up here too, but mostly from about this onward are all the books that I read this year. And some down there. And these are kind of more aesthetic books that like people have gifted me, and I technically haven't read all of them, but they're just there. This book is actually one of the best. Pretty sure it's going to be backwards for you guys, but it is. Desperately Seeking Paradise by Ziauddin Sardar. Journeys of a Skeptical Muslim. Look it up. It's so good. It's such a good book. And then I have a lot of Camus. Obviously, Albert Camus was one of my favorite philosophers. As you can tell, I really like absurdism. And again, absurdism has come back to help me with anxiety again, too. Because it's like I'm just embracing the void and laughing at it. It's all I can do. Just accept it and laugh at it. And I like some books about Hawaii and stuff, which is great. Anthropology, AA, Anthropology, BA, and then the Masters in Ethnobotany. And that's Googie. Some paintings.
Put a desk into my room this year. This was gifted to me by Eric's brother, so thank you, Jeremy. This is my work computer. I have a work from home job because I'm a very privileged person. And it's a very easy work from home job for the Department of Health Services in Arizona. And in very me fashion, the center of my altar is my own dissertation. What else am I going to pray to than my own academic pursuits? And then over here I just have some Catholic stuff because I like the art, and I got that in Spain when I was there. So, and these are from Hawaii. All four of them are from Hawaii. I used to have one from Portugal, but it was too spooky, so I took it down. There's this bear, and he is reading the Philosophy of Epictetus. And then I've been reading this for Crimbus. I was supposed to be reading this, but I haven't read it as much yet. That's a painting for my stepmom for Christmas. That's a painting for my housemate of our 3 new dogs. Well, 3 new to me. They came when the housemates moved in. This is secretly my favorite dog. She's pretty close to being my favorite. And this guy's an absolute nuisance, but it's hard to hate him for long. And here's a framed picture. So that's the video. Hee hee ha ha. Until next time, I'm Laszlo still, and I'm still alive.